Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another video, and today we are in my local area shooting a POV. This one is going to be one of those sort of, let's say, can you shoot photography in a boring area? We've always been over into central London and done street stuff over there, so why not see what we can actually do in our local area? I forgot to say, it's pretty early out, so I doubt there's going to be many people around, obviously that being a main focus of street photography. So chances are this is going to be more architectural, landscapey type stuff. So yeah, let's see what we can do, man. Let's get it. So I guess it's about time to jump into voiceover mode. So as I said at the beginning, this one was purely about just taking photographs in my local area and seeing what I could come up with. We're walking along a place called the Thames path, which basically runs along the River Thames. And it's a pathway that runs from where I live all the way into central London, I believe. It's a part of the area that I walk most days, as I generally go around there for a run and for a walk, depending on the day, however I feel. And I thought it would be interesting to see what I could get photo-wise. So that is the reason why the tripod is on, obviously, because I'm doing video as well at the same time. And it's just easier to do that than having to keep taking it off and putting it on. So invest in a mini tripod, you can fucking still carry your camera and do what you need to do with it at the same time. I mean, on the times that I have been along here, I've taken a couple of snaps on my phone, but I've never brought my actual camera out on here. So as we got onto it, started warming up, taking a couple of like random shots just of whatever I could sort of see. There wasn't anything particular that I was looking for. I didn't know what to look for. If I saw it and I thought it was interesting, then I was going to snap it. So after a few minutes of standing at the front bit there while Jay was getting some video content that he needed, set my camera up on this wall and basically get a first landscape shot. Just underneath me there's a bit of a path where people can walk through, obviously it's part of the path. And I didn't think anybody was actually going to come across, but in the end a cyclist did come through and I managed to grab this shot of him quickly as he was coming through. It wasn't planned, it wasn't predicted, it wasn't like we thought anybody was even going to walk past. It's not like you've even got visibility of anybody coming. The shot itself is a bit meh, not all that, but it's a shot. So we walk further down, and obviously one of the best things to do is always look behind you. Although you've taken photographs from in front, having a quick turn around gives you a different perspective and a different angle on things that you might have already captured. So that's just what I did. I spent the first half of the shooting on the 85. I purposely put the 85 on to try and get a bit more reach. My thinking behind that was I could get a bit more detailed shots, and I knew that there would be things in the water. This is a note to myself that I need to pick up at 70 to 200 at some point, because for days like this and areas that you're not 100% sure of, it would be good knowing that you do have the extra bit of reach if you need it. So that's another lens that's on the list. I've got to decide between that and a 24 to 70. If you saw my video from a couple of weeks ago, you might recognize this spot. So as we went past it, I thought I'd get myself a nice little self-portrait on there.
I would like to come and do some long exposures at some point. Yeah. Not necessarily here, but along the path somewhere.
If you haven't noticed as well, I've switched over to the wide angle lens to get a bit more landscape shots, because I know further along this part of the path there isn't really much that's really going to warrant the 85. But in saying that, I think it was only for about 4 shots that I did get, and then I switch up as we get a little bit further down anyway. In this shot here, I tried to use the jetty as a bit of a leading line to draw you to the crane, and after reviewing it, I'm actually pretty happy with how that shot came out. I'm probably going to put it in my top 10 of the day, possibly top 5. I'm now back onto the 85 again to get more close-up shots. I wanted to try and get as much detail on these ship shots as possible, and the wide definitely wouldn't have done that. Again, having a 70-200, you would have captured those people that were walking along the ship. Again, turning around, taking some shots of what we'd already passed just to get a different perspective of what was going on. It's also started raining now, so we just hang here for a little while, basically just to see what the rain's going to do. We're basically at the point where do we continue or do we turn around and go back? Luckily the rain didn't last too long, so we continued forward and carried on shooting. So all of this area here is pretty much industrial. The jetties and the banks, they basically take materials that feed into different warehouses and plants and things like that. So generally they're just offloading different things. But because you get different ships that are coming in, you get a little bit of variety on the type of ship that you can get.
I went in there when it was the old one. I can't remember what it was called. But
this is a shot that I've been wanting to get on my camera for a long time. I've taken it before on my phone, but I thought it warranted a proper shot of a camera, purely for the symmetricalness of it. I just mess around here trying different angles to see if any of them look any better. I prefer the first one out of the two. and it wouldn't be a day out shooting if I didn't take a picture of a camera, a Canon in all its glory. I think I was trying a long exposure here, and this is another thing that I need to get myself, is some sort of filter for the wide lens. Obviously where it's morning, it was way too bright to get any type of good long exposure. I think I shot that at about 0.4 of a second, and that would be the best that I could get. Another thing to the list, get myself a filter for the wide lens. Couple of random shots that I took off the phone, basically just for Instagram. More of the type of shots that I normally do for social media. I don't know why this caught my eye. There's nothing actually interesting here, but I just took a shot of it anyway. And I actually like this shot as well, and I think this is in my top 3, and I especially like the way that the edit came out on it as well. So we're basically doing a loop on ourselves now, coming up towards the end of the video, because as we get round this bend there isn't really much else to shoot. There's nothing else that's interesting, but if you do hang around for the last 2 images, you will see some shots that I took on my very first POV, and if you go back to that video you'll be able to see the difference between then and now in terms of with the way that I shoot and the difference in camera quality. If there is a difference in camera quality, I'm not going to say there isn't, I'm not going to say there isn't. But yeah, that was a bit of a random voiceover for this one. If you like the video, please give it a like. Feel free to drop any comments or questions down below. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.